All right, everyone. Today we have Miss Mary Williams from Unity Renaissance, the Unity Renaissance, doing a micro training for us today on organization. And I had to get myself just a little bit organized just to be, do this call. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss Mary, and she can take it away and teach us all kinds of organization skills, because she's got all kinds of ideas. So take it away, Miss Mary.
Chanel, thank you so much. I hope I don't disappoint. I was actually contemplating, I was telling my husband, like, I don't even know what to include in this PowerPoint. And he's like, are you kidding me? What about your color coordinated Google Calendar? Hey, maybe I do. And I think I've been doing it for so many years. Like I said, I was a teacher for about 20 years. And when you're teaching and you have children, which I have a blended family of 5, and now also the YFM director, you kind of have to have some kind of plan. So with that, I'm going to share my screen just for my visual learners to be able to see some type of PowerPoint. And okay, all right, here we go. So I called it an organization workshop, and we call ourselves the YFM department. So this is the agenda for my little organization. My organization for the organization training is number 1 is organization. What is it? Number 2, do it when you get it. That's the best thing I've ever learned. And details, minor details, little details, big details, all really important. Number 3 is Google does everything. So I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm 46 years old and I am not computer savvy. And so I get made fun of by the youngin teachers and by my children all the time. But I'm always open and willing to learn. And I have learned Google and I'm obsessed. For those of you who don't like things online, and I sometimes don't like everything online, I also have number 4 as a planner. So I do both, to be honest with you, and I'm going to go over all my craziness as we go along. Okay, so organization. Organization is extremely important in about any profession you might do, especially when working with children and families. And if you don't have organization, sometimes your life can look like this.
Herding cats. Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
Anybody can herd cattle. Holding together 10,000 half-wild short hairs, well, that's another thing altogether.
Being a cat herder is probably about the toughest thing I think I've ever done.
I got this one this morning, right here, and if you look at his face, it's just ripped to shreds, you know?
You see the movies, you hear the stories, I'm living a dream. Not everyone can do what we do.
I wouldn't do nothing else.
It ain't an easy job, but when you bring a herd into town and you ain't lost a one of them, ain't a feeling like it in the world.
Okay.
Okay, now I get it. That was awesome.
So anyway, that's one of my favorite videos that describe, like, you really have to be organized or your life can look crazy like that. So I'm going to go back to my questions. What is organization and what does it mean to be organized? Does anyone want to share? What is organization and or what does it mean to be organized for you?
Ooh. I personally have to have everything, and everything's got to have a place, because if it doesn't have a place, then it for me, it just messes up my mind, like a dirty place, or like my house or something like that, or just a whole lot of chaos going on. If it doesn't have a perfect space to go into by the end of the night, it messes with my mind. So it's very important for me to have everything organized and have a dedicated spot for something. Yes, I am CDO, and I know it's supposed to be OCD, but it's alphabetical order CDO as it should be. So that's how organized I like to be. Chaos creates chaos in my mind. And so when I organize it here, it organizes my mind.
Awesome. So everything has to have its place. Anyone else?
I would say from my perspective, it also has not just a place, but an owner. So who's taken that kind of thing on with order, especially when you get into group dynamics? The hard part there is trust. Because you also have to allow trust and something that, you know, we all believe in unity, which is divine order, which is allowing those things to happen that need to happen. And sometimes that is not exactly in the right place or having the right person do it, but sometimes the trust factor has to be there as well.
Okay. And just so you know, Ed is like our best sponsor ever. He's talking about the 12 powers. So just a little plug in for the 12, the divine order. Yeah. So yeah. And absolutely. Yeah. Who's doing what, when, and how. Very important when it comes to organization. I know I have a partner. I don't know if anybody else has a partner, but I'm sure some of you, oh, you're very small groups, right? Does anyone have like volunteers or teachers working for them or anyone working with them as far as sponsors or anything like that? Show of hands if you have any. Yeah, Patty does. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, you do too, Jay? Oh, and Maggie. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So it's like, I think that's what Ed is speaking to. Like, you have to know who's doing what, when, and why, you know, and kind of organize that as well. And that's part of the organization. Does anyone else want to add to that organization before I go back to the slideshow?
I mean,
Okay.
I was gonna say, I am organized chaos. It always looks like it's chaotic around me, but I know exactly where what I need is. My piles specific. I know what it may look crazy to somebody else, but I always have so much going on. Janelle, you would lose your mind around me. Literally, you would probably be itching, you know. But on some level, it's so funny. I also have a little bit of OCD. Like when I put stuff on the shelf, I need all the labels to be in the same direction, face, you know, and so I think it's a mix of different things. I think it depends on what you're referring to, organization, you know, but like my calendar, I like having a calendar because then I I, I get to see when stuff is and a timeline of what I need to do prior to that. So I can get all my ducks in a row. So for me, a calendar, I've learned to utilize a calendar. It's my best friend.
That's awesome. Yeah, calendars are really important. And it's funny that you say organized mess. That's my my co-director B. She goes, Mary, I have it all here. Just give me a second. She's got like post-its and notebooks and this and that. I'm like, B, can you just get rid of the post-its, dude? They're not helping you. Post-its get lost. Post-its get stuck on other things. I'm like, post-its are not the way to go. So now she's lowered down to her notebook. So at least she has one notebook, which I think Janelle shared earlier that she has a notebook too. So that's okay. Well, thank you for all your sharing. I really, really appreciate it. I have to share my screen first. Here we go, Mary. Can you imagine I taught on Zoom during COVID? Okay. Like little kids, second graders. Okay, so where were we? Organization, what is it? What does it mean to us? What does it look like? So organization, it is being able to plan things carefully and keep things neat. And it also says by definition that details are key. So again, I think that goes back to like a detail that Ed brought up, like who's doing it and having trust in that person who's doing it. And then it also speaks a little bit to you, Jay, about carefully keeping things neat. So it does have to do a lot with your organization and be able to put your fingers on certain things. So do it when you get it and details. These are my little tricks I've learned over the years. Do it when you get it. So especially as a teacher, even in the YFM, when something comes across so I have every notification known to man on my phone. It notifies me when I get an email. It notifies me when I get a text messages. It notifies me when a new YouTube video comes up that I enjoy. So I have those little tags and they drive me crazy. If I don't click on the tag and see what it is, I cannot live with my day. But being that I am a mom and I'm a person first, a spiritual being having a human experience first, and then I'm a mom and a wife, and I teach and I have YFM. It's easier for me to keep calendars and to do things when I get it. So for YFM purposes, because it's like my part-time job, I do a certain day and a certain time. So there's a certain day and a certain time that I would do that. Okay. So like, let's say I signify like, okay, B and I meet on Tuesdays at 4:30, and then we keep our timer. We have 5 minutes to share our personal life, we have we have 20 minutes to go over our staff meeting and what we thought or what we wanted to exchange in case one of us missed it. And then we have the rest of the time to plan for this following Sunday and to share who's doing what. We leave our last, maybe we leave the last 15 minutes or so to look ahead, like what's happening in the month of September that we have to plan. We have what's called, they used to be multi-gens. We call them an all together now service where the children go into the sanctuary and we plan those. So we look ahead at those. Our next one's in October. If we want to do a great one, we have to look ahead. So that's what we use that last time for. But do it when you get it is really, really important. At work, I get an email, I answer the email immediately. Obviously, if I'm with teaching or with a student, I don't. Also, knowing when self-care, also knowing when to shut that down. So I go to bed at like 8:39. I actually go to sleep at 8:39. So I'm shut down by then. And I even though people might email me or text me, I will not respond because I want others to respect my time. So I give myself YFM time. Tuesdays, 4:30 this, maybe I might do a Friday night for 2 hours where I write out my lesson plans and send them out. Maybe that's when I'll call parents or families and keep track of them, things of that nature. So I give myself my time. Okay, setting time. That's what I did. Okay, what does it look like for all parties? This is really important. So I want to look at you all for a minute. I'm not good looking at a screen. What does it do for all parties? What does that mean? So we did the, like I said, the multi-gen service, which we call the all together now service. And B's like, how do you keep this all organized? You really have to think about what does each activity look for each person. So if you're planning a lesson, let's say for a 5-year-old versus a 13-year-old, what does it look like from their perspective? What does it look like from the person who's carrying it out? What does it look like from the ushers who helped us during the service versus the reverend who's doing the service versus us and the music team, and then that you have the lighting and the right and the live online part where they record. What does that look like for all parties involved? And we take a time to plan our event based on each individual person within the event, if that makes sense. And that's what we plan out. I use a notebook for that. So that's the only thing I actually use a notebook for is planning events. Like, yep, like Janelle has. That's the only, that's the only time I actually use an actual notebook. Otherwise, everything has to be in a calendar, which I'll show later, my planner. Okay, labels for materials. I heard Jay say labels. Love it, love it, love it. And yes, Jay, I I OCD organize my labels too. We have what's called a resource room at our church, and we call it a teacher resource. We encourage all our teachers to go in there and take any materials for any ideas they might have or things they want to do. And in there, there's plastic containers with a label. Here's the markers. Here's the paper. Here's the scissors. Here's the stuff. Labels are super, super, super important. Even especially in your file cabinets. If you don't have file cabinets, get those started. I have in my file cabinet, I have a folder, ones with background check, ones with labels for the kids when they sign in with their name tags. We have name tags for our children when they sign in, so the parents have to match the number, otherwise they can't take their kid. Most of the families we know, but files for, oh my goodness, attendance. The way I keep attendance is everybody signs in, I collect them, I date them. I also put them in Google, which I will share with you later. And then I put them in my file under like live attendance for our children so we can see our patterns and what's happening with our children, who's coming, who's not coming. We use that information, by the way, to call families that we haven't seen in a while. So B is excellent at touching base and like being really human to human. If anyone's been missing or doesn't come to church in a while, she gives them a personal phone call and checks in on them and see how they're doing. Books. I heard someone say about books earlier. We have a bookshelf and we kind of organize our books. And yes, we put them in alphabetical order. so that's how we can find our books easily. It'd probably be better to put them in topic or subject, but we don't. We just put them in alphabetical order. And if it works with the curriculum, then we know, okay, this is A, this is Z, this is N. And we've been ordering books as we go along. Anytime I find a sale on books, by the way, add them, but that has nothing to do with organization. So I have a shelf and we have little sticks. You know, if you go to painting stores, they'll give you the sticks that they mix the paint for free. I use those suckers for so many things to organize. So I put them and they have, you could put A, B, C, D, and you could put them in each. I think B used a file cabinet, but I used the sticks in classroom and it was amazing. I love them. I love things for free. Also for free, if you go to like an Office Max, when they get their magazines or their books or whatever, you know how they sell folders now for back to school and such. They have them in these like cardboard things. They look like magazine holders. When they're done, they'll hold them for you and you can go get them for free. And then you could put all kinds of things in there. You don't even have to buy plastic containers. You could write the labels right on the front, stick it in your magazine box, put it on the shelf, and you could see all your things and a free holder. I mean, I love things for free. So these stores do things like that for free. Walmart also, and I'll move on, I promise. Also, Walmart for free will give you boxes, any size you want. Like I wanted just eggy size boxes because they're a nice size, the way they come, the way they ship them. And I wanted those boxes. They held them for me and I went to go pick them up for free. Just talk to the manager, be really nice. They're really good about that. And that also helps with organization. We have some things in the closets that are driving me crazy. And that's what I'm going to be using the boxes for, putting everything that we're not using all the time, or maybe they're seasonal, in a box and labeling it per season. Any questions before I move on? Because I could talk forever. Are we good? Are we good? Okay.
That's awesome.
I have a question,
Yes.
but it's not about organization per se. I'm just curious, why 8:39 p.m.? Why not 8:40 p.m.?
Ma'am, I must have skipped. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock, not 8:39. So sorry.
Oh, okay.
8:30, 9 o'clock. So 8:39, it's my New York. I'm from Brooklyn, by the way. I don't know if you can tell by my accent, but everyone says I still have an accent. So sometimes
Okay.
I'm in like my New York minute. I apologize. It's 8:30 to 9 o'clock.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thanks for asking that
My
question.
kids do
'cause I
go
was gonna
down. My
ask
kids
them
go down at 7:30. I'm like, bye, kids. I don't have to hear from you, and you don't have to go to sleep, but you're going to bed. Like everybody goes to bed at 7:30. It's our quiet time. So mommy needed some alone time. So 8:30, 9 o'clock, though, I'm snoring by then. But thanks, Maggie. Thank you
I
for
have-
letting me clarify that.
Yeah, where do you get
Okay.
the container?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
The plastic organizer? Well, the thing that you're gonna use as an organizer, the plastic one. Where do you get it?
Oh, we just ordered those on Amazon. They had them,
Oh.
they had them stacked. We just ordered those on Amazon.
Oh,
But I
okay.
wanted to give you like free ideas because I
Nice.
notice a lot of times like my budget's not so much of a budget. That's why I'm meeting with our board soon. But so we don't I'm trying to like save money. So I was looking for free ways to do it. So I just took my experience from teaching and been applying it to the YFM. So that's why I thought I'd share with you all. I'm sure you all have a budget like I do, and it's probably not really a budget. So free things are always good. Okay, so, and yes, I do. Side note, I really do recommend that you meet with your boards. I was reading all online from on the YFM worldwide, and they were saying that you should like devise your mission and your vision statement and or the purpose so that the board has buy-in. So when if they have extra money here or there, they'll remember YFM. So just a little trick. I'm hoping it works. I'll let you guys know. So okay, share the screen. Let's see here. Okay. So the next thing is Google, my favorite. I'm going to keep it on here all the time. Google Docs, let's check it out. And Google Drive. So I have to share each tab. Is that what you're telling me as I go along? Okay. So let's start with Google Docs. I'm going to stop sharing and start sharing. Am I making you guys dizzy yet? And here's Google Drive. And Google Drive is awesome. I don't know who doesn't use Google Drive at this point, but you have to. So what I did was we already had my previous director, Anna. She was wonderful. Lisa Carter, she is amazing at technology. She actually set up this youth ed director Gmail for us. And so that's our Gmail. So we do get like emails. I could use it as my email. I have Google Drive with all our files on Google Drive. I have Google Docs, and that's how I make like my little like flyers or something. I want to let the parents know or things that are happening. We're also going to be designing like monthly newsletters, and I use Google Docs for that. Google Sheets has been awesome for my spreadsheets, and I'll show you one for like attendance and keeping track of my parent names and their phone numbers and things of that nature. Here's Google Calendar, which I will definitely show you. Here it is. So these are all here in this little waffle, like all these I call it the waffle, all these wonderful things. This calendar is blank because I don't use it for YFM. I use it personally, and I put my YFM in my personal, which I'll show you after I stop sharing the screen. But if you click on a day, like let's say today, you can add an event, you can put the day and time, you can add a guest. So I usually add B on those things that have to do with YFM so she could see like an event that I put in. You can add location. This saves me, by the way, just personally when I have to take the kids to a doctor's office and I'm like, where the heck am I going? And that gives me the address. So those are like amazing ways. And you also could change the color. See how this is blue? You can click on this and there's like 1,000 colors for you to choose from. So each thing could be a different color. I mean, Google Calendar is amazing. I just love it. So if you're an online person, that's the way to go. So here, if you go to the Google Drive, I have everything having to do with YFM right here. So I'm not going to click on this one because I don't want to show any of my family's personal information. But if you see here, I use Google Sheets and I have like their names, the parent names, the first name, last name, their emails, the kid's name, and then I have in and out, like when they were here, when they weren't here. So I can keep it. It also totals the score for me on the bottom. So I can see an average weekly, how many students are coming in. If they have any health needs or allergies, I put that in there because sometimes we do food and I don't want anyone to get hurt. And like I said, yeah, emails and things of that nature. So Google Sheets is awesome for keeping that information. Here's a little, here's my little slideshow I made today that you could totally make on slides. And when I do the volunteer workshops for my volunteers, I use slides for that as well. And then this is all the like, look at this. This is like crazy, but it's like files for everything. Here's lesson plans, heart agreements, forms, just so many things. Here are flying up ceremony that I planned, and I kind of save everything. I do sign in and out sheets on Google, Google, what you call it? I'm losing it. Google Docs, like Docs. And here, like some of my kids' names, and then in and out, and what it looks like. So
Can I just
Google
say
has
something,
been like,
Mary? Oh, I was
yeah.
just gonna say, Mary, when you were just sharing there, I think we were just seeing like a desktop. We weren't seeing any individual.
No, I was seeing a full the file.
Okay, all I
These
saw
are my
was like
files.
individual files, but not like a whole list of them.
Right.
Right, but yeah, okay. So was that what you were trying to show us? Was just like,
It was just that I have files and the way I name them, because a lot of the information in there, I don't want to share like, my congregants information, because it's private. Not that I think any of you are going to do anything with it, just so I can keep their privacy. But that's where I keep all the lesson plans. I can click on the lesson plans one if you want to see that one. It's been really awesome. Like I said, Lisa, she was amazing, and she actually uploaded all the lessons and the copies to the Google Drive. So here's What a Wonderful World. That's one of the curriculums we use for our tots. And if you click on Wonderful World Book 2, Unit 11, and then session 4, and it's on PDF, and we have all the lessons right there. And so we can email these to our volunteers each week so they could see what lessons they're going to be teaching. B and I always change these. We don't send them just as they are because it's a lot for an hour. Are you able to see that, everybody? Can you see the lesson?
Yes.
yes.
Perfect. Wonderful. So those are the types of things we have on the Google Drive. Google's been really, really, really great for me, especially since like a lot of that was put up there and I just keep adding different things to it. Does anyone have any questions about how I use Google?
I just
You
have
mentioned-
a comment.
Oh.
We use Google Drive. We're still on Zoom for our kids 3 Sundays a month and in person only 1 week a month. So our slides for each week we put on the Google Drive so that if somebody misses a class, their parents can go back and look at the slides and, watch the videos that are on the slides and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Anyone else using Google? That's really.
Yes, I love that, Patty. But this does prompt me to ask, because of this Google Drive, the possibility of, because all of us are always looking for curriculum. to make a drive that's available with just curriculum, like shared curriculum throughout the whole region to start and then go forward. I think that's a thank you for this, because I think that's a great thing to do, because we're, like I said, always looking for curriculum. Like just for Nancy, we could say, hey, well, here's an access to Google Drive just with curriculum. So thank you so much, Mary.
Yeah. And if you want, I can totally share with you our Google Drive PDFs that are already uploaded. We have so many different curriculum books up there. I pretty much think all of them that we purchased, Lisa's taken the time to put them all up there. So I have no problem sharing them.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, Lisa. Yeah, that would be great. Let's
Yeah,
check
Lisa
that.
scanned
That
a
would
whole
be
bunch of
wonderful.
stuff and
Okay.
and put it all on there, which helps out a great deal. But this was also some of the discussion, what was the 500 by 90, but now is called the IYOU Booster Team monthly call. From a chapter support focus is how do we do this nationally, so that we all share curriculum and drive
Oh,
this.
yeah.
So that now we're back to how does Big Unity do it? Because the lessons that we have for YOU are okay, but they're still using a lot of stories and books from Chicken Soup for the Teenager Soul. And that stuff just doesn't capture what we want to get anymore. So there's been some great work by some of the YOU chapters, especially out in California and down in Texas and other things, that if we would post this stuff, it could be just great for everybody. And also sharing some of the icebreakers and just the activities, opening activity type stuff, just to get people to open up and stuff. So I think there's a lot of valid looks at this, but it's back also to how do we get it open so people can utilize it and download it, but not make it way too cumbersome, because you want to make sure you're uploading decent stuff too, and who's the caretaker of that kind of stuff. So now you're challenged.
That's a whole nother call.
Right.
Of course, of a different
We'll
color, yeah.
definitely look into that. We
Yeah.
opened up a can of worms. So,
Yep,
but
you
That's
get
okay.
into-
And I really would love to share. I could share that with you as well, Janelle, or maybe have another training on that. B and I take every single one of those lessons and redo them, because it's just so older, especially now with the 12 powers coming up. We literally redesign the lessons, like looking for TikTok shorts for our Uniteens or YOUers, like coming up with different connection activities for the beginning of the lesson. We have a lesson plan flow that we follow, just educational based, like developmentally for children, that we follow with all that curriculum. So yeah, we have no problem. And I save those to the drive too. So we have no problem sharing any of those, what goes on. But yeah, that is a horse on a different color. So if I could show you, I don't know if you could see. Can you see?
A white screen. Oh, you got to tilt it
Do
a
you see
little.
that?
Okay. Yep.
Your phone.
Do you see all the colors on the screen?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
schedule for today. So I'm lavender. My 13-year-old is yellow. My husband's blue, and my daughter's usually everybody has a color, but this is what the Google Calendar looks like when there's actually things on it, like different colors. And if I scan to Sundays, forget it. I mean, your eyes would go crazy. I even have date night up there for me and my husband. But Sundays it goes crazy because now B and I have a totally separate color, and I share those things with her, like, hey, this is coming up, let's keep an eye on that. And she gets an email that directs her to the calendar so she can see that. So it's been really, really, really cool. The next thing, did anyone have any questions more? I don't want to skip over.
Well, one other question, because you said you make posters in Google.
Make what?
Posters, flyers.
I do make flyers. They're just my own. They're not too artsy, but I like them. Let me see if I could find one for you.
I mean, I usually use Canva, the free option.
Oh, yeah. I love Canva. I just got frustrated with it because they kept wanting, like, do they charge you for that?
Well, they have the free ones, and then the obviously the really pretty ones, you have to pay for it. But then I just take the raw stuff and then tweak it.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. See, I guess I tried to make a fancy one that day, and they were charging me, and I'm like, oh, just forget this. I'll do it myself. And so I got so frustrated with them. I don't know if this is one. No, that's not one. I'm trying to find where I put my flyers. Do you see how many things I have in here? It's like crazy. I was trying to find one that we just did for Splish Splash.
While you're looking, can I just say something?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
We've been using Diane Banzera's virtual adventures. And it has curriculum for elementary unit teams and high school, 12 different units, each a month long. And Ed, it's right on top of things that are now. And it's
Oh,
free.
that's really, what is that?
What's the name of it?
Virtual adventures. Go to Unity Worldwide Ministries and you can find it. It's free.
Virtual
Yeah,
adventure.
12 months
you have to have an
curriculum.
account.
Huh?
Janelle may be able to help us with that.
I can
You don't
send you. No, you don't have to have an account for that one. I can send out the link.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo,
That's awesome.
Mary, this is
Thank you.
awesome. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
so this is one.
This is great though.
Yeah, I tried.
Oh, that's a cute one. Yeah.
So that's one that we had for Splash Sunday, which was a ball. Even our teens loved it, so it was a big success. So that's an example of one that we've made, which was really cool. And I just do that on the drive because I didn't want to have to pay for anything. Free,
So wait,
remember? Everything has to be free.
yeah, but which Google program does that?
That was on Google. That was regular Google. If you go, I went here, and then I went to Google Docs, and I just created on Google Docs. I did a background of blue. I did my
Oh, okay.
letters, and then
Google
I found,
Docs? Okay.
and then I found a logo online that was free.
Okay.
And yeah, and then I just put it on there, and I changed the letters and the font, and I just kept playing with it until it looked good enough to hang up.
No, it looks great. Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
like I said, I didn't even know Google did that, so I appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's how I make my flyers. We're also like they also have like brochure types, for newsletters with different cutouts. And Teachers Pay Teachers is free to sign up, and you have to pay for things, but so many things on there are free. So like I found a newsletter that puts like Bee's picture and my picture, or a picture of the kids, which I'll show you later. And then it'll give you like a monthly newsletter that you can create and send out to your families via email or a paper that, because everyone's different, a paper one for them to pick up. So Teachers Pay Teachers has excellent free things, slideshows, lots of different things, and just type in free and you don't even have to pay for it. I don't buy anything unless it's like $1.99. Otherwise, otherwise it has to be free. So, and you could sign up for free, like start an account for free. Okay, so my next thing is, I don't even have to look. It's my planner, which I'm going to share with you. I purchased this one. I don't mind spending money on a planner, and this one has like inspirational quotes, which I just love. This is for my paper people. I do both, if you can't tell. I have my Google Calendar on my phone, and then I make paper calendar. This is mostly for me. And the reason why is because, like, right up front, it has great notes. It has great ideas to like set goals and things. I love that kind of stuff. I won't show you all my humiliating little goals, but here's all my passwords that I'll flash to you, because I forget all my passwords for all my websites. I write that all down in here. If B and I are in a meeting and I have to-dos, I take notes and then I cross out as I go. So I kind of have a notebook a little bit. This is with the service that we planned, where I think notes are totally fine. But if you look at August, I use pencil because, life is about erasing sometimes and everything's there. And I love this one because if you turn the pages, it has like, here we go. Let's do a non-embarrassing one. It has different ones where you could actually plan things for the day. Like, it has super duper lines on here. So it's kind of like a notebook, but it's for the day. I don't know if you could see that. So I have like my quick glance, like my month, and it also comes with a little tab that you could find out what I'm doing for the day. So if I'm planning anything for that Sunday, usually that's where I put my to do. When I write Mary to do, email Uniteens, send this to IOU, send this to Unikids, reach out for the teachers, see if there's somebody else, call this person, whatever the case may be. B and I love calling people. Like we call our families a lot. And our office manager, Alicia, she's really great at technology, and she found this program called Breeze for us. And I don't know if your churches have it, but it's been outstanding for an organizational crazy person. It's actually for churches. And I just have been inputting all the families' emails and phone numbers. And now, if I want to email my families, I click on my tag for YFM. I click on the tag that says families. I click on email and I just type in my email and it sends out the email to all my families. I'm like, oh, this is heaven. So it's really, really, really wonderful. Our staff calendar is on there, so nobody could double book anything in the church and see what's going on. Breeze I cannot take credit for that one. That's totally Alicia. She's kind of like gently, not gently making us use it because some people are in their comfort zone and don't want to hear it. But it's really, really user friendly. And like you can put your pictures in there, your family, your congregants, the staff. I mean, it's really wonderful. Breeze is just great. So, with that, I just want to share with you a little bit of our faces, if you don't mind, because I'm just too proud. These are examples. Okay, I told you about planner, keeping it. I did all these things. Wonderful. Look at mine. These are our kids. And this is just an example of the things we do at our church. Like if you can see our kids, our bigger kids here, like just playing, our little kids singing. I mean, these are old pictures, a new picture. Here's our Halloween. They were doing meditation and they stopped to stare at us. This is our Shining Souls. B has a singing group and they went bowling. This was our Halloween dress up. I mean, just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm just so proud.
That's awesome.
I hope I helped with organization or at least ideas.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, great. Yeah, get rid of the Post-its, guys. Post-its are your worst nightmare. They won't work for you.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Wait. I have a question, Mary. How did you do the water day, the splash? How did you do that? You said no water, something, but how did you do it?
What did it look like? You mean?
Toys.
Yeah, or no water toys, right? So where was it held?
Okay, so we have like a huge, I don't know what you want to call it, the field, the yard. Yeah, our field or yard. We have a huge one back behind the church. And I couldn't have done it without Ed actually. So he could tell you the torture he had to go through with me. But because we had things in the storage shed, I don't go where there's bugs. And he connected all these different hoses for us and different connectors, which was wonderful. Again, I just don't do that. I'm not a nature girl. But so we had a slip and slide. We had like it's an animal pool, but I use it as a baby pool because it folds up and it's easy to clean and dry. Does that make sense? And easy to store?
No, I know.
So we filled up those. Yeah, I bought little water shooters. I bought reusable water balloons, and I had buckets with water so they could shoot, so they can throw water balloons. The big kids like were too cool for school, so they play volleyball. But then I ran around wetting all of them with water balloons, and then they got involved in the water, which was really really fun. So yeah, we just had little things set up all over the whole yard, and everybody just came in their bathing suit. They checked in as normal, but checked out outside. And we had some water and like last year we had snacks. We had like watermelon and stuff like that. But yeah, it was fun. Even the babies came out in the nursery and just played in a little splash pad. It was like so cute.
That's awesome.
And,
Thank
and
you.
Mary was extremely smart by saying, don't bring water things, toys, because then you get the kid with the freaking mega blaster water gun that's crushing everybody. And then, then there's others that don't have that. And then there's disparity. So trying to make stuff that is equitable as much as you can for everybody really works.
Where are you, Mary? Where are you in the United States?
Oh, we're in Virginia, in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
Unity's in Greenbrier. I live in I live in Great Bridge, which is only like 10 minutes away, but we're in Chesapeake, Virginia.
And
I know my accent threw you off, right? I'm originally from Brooklyn. Yes, Patty.
we had 5 things on your list, and last I heard was Google. Did we do 4 and 5, and did I miss it?
Yes, ma'am. The planner. I
Okay,
just didn't share my screen again. See, some people just visual. God bless you, Patty. Thank you for reminding me to show everybody a visual. So yeah, it went from Google, and then the last thing was the planner. It
okay.
will keep it together, the dates, people, activities, and plans that I shared in my planner, and I have you look at mine.
Okay.
Thank you
So
for
I
that.
just
I
made
love
up
it.
there was a number 5.
Yeah, probably. I apologize. Let's look. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not.
I do that
I
a
was
lot,
in.
so it's okay.
Let's see. Yep, there was only 4. Yep,
Okay.
there's 4.
I love
Details
it.
and do it when you get it, and details were kind of together, so I could totally see how you could say that.
That's
But Patty, I'm
awesome.
not judging, dude. I've been at training all day. My brain is a little fried too, so it could have been
Oh,
fine.
no, I'm
That's why
fine.
I had to check.
I'm fine.
I had to check.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mary. Are there any other questions for Miss Mary? Well, we love you. We bless you.
We bless you.
We truly
Truly
appreciate
appreciate you, and we behold
behold
the
the
Christ
Christ you
you
are.
are.
We love
We
you.
love
We
you,
love
love you, really love you.
you.
Mwah.
Love you. Mwah.
Go, Mary.
Mary.